Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Over 50 and Flourishing. Back by popular demand, my dermatologist, who's now your dermatologist, Dr.
Yes.
Marjorie Nigro. Just when I think we've run out of things to talk about, there's always something new to talk about. We're talking skin, the largest organ in our bodies. There are always skin issues that need to be discussed. And have you noticed that in midlife, certain things start to present that you've never had before? Hello, Rosacea. Where the heck did you come from? And why have you entered my life? And you know what? I'm not the only one who's speaking this language. I know you are too. That's why we're doing a fully dedicated, not only podcast, but soon to come YouTube video on rosacea, because this is a complaint that a lot of you are having. And you're wondering, why me? Why now? So to answer these questions, let's give a big warm welcome to Marjorie Nigro. Yay!
Hey, guys.
Hey, okay. So you have it too.
I do have it too. It's a
We're in the
blessing
club.
that keeps giving. It's
Isn't
amazing.
it?
Yes.
Marjorie, what the heck is
I
rosacea?
know, my friend. I know. And I was so happy when you brought this up for us to talk about that.
Mhm.
Because reason number one, a lot of people don't even know they have it. They
Right.
come to me with the most kind of different complaints. Oh, my skin is kind of bumpy in my 50s or early 40s. And once in a while, I drink wine and I get so red. Am I
Flushed.
allergic to wine?
Mhm.
So you hear all these different complaints. And then when you tell them, well, this is a sign of rosacea. No, I've never had that. I don't know what that is. Where did I get it? So there's all this unknown questions to be answered about rosacea, right? And rosacea is a genetic condition, my friends. We are born with the genes to develop it
Really?
or not. If those genes are not stimulated, you just have the tendency and you never develop it. If those genes are stimulated, and how is the major stimulation? Sun exposure in our youth.
Mhm.
So when we don't even think about it, right? When I was young, I knew my grandmother put too much blush all the time. And I would always say, why there's so much
Much
blush?
blush?
And I had no idea until I was a dermatology resident that it's like, no, some
She
people are
had
always
rosacea.
like that. So she had the red cheeks, the prominent red cheeks
Mhm.
all the time. Summer, it gets worse. The more sun exposure, the worse it gets. But really, we develop the beginnings of rosacea in our late teen years and our 20s. That's the time we don't know what we're doing because we have such a thick layer of collagen. You don't know what you're doing to the bottom of your skin. So you're always beautiful. You're always the color of
Yeah.
your skin, always perfect. And then once the 40s and the 50s hit and that layer of collagen becomes thinner, you start to see what's in the bottom layers of the
Ah.
skin.
Is it because I thought, well, okay, we blame hormones on everything.
Of
Just
course.
another thing to blame our
Yes,
hormones
blame
on.
it.
Blame
Yes,
it. It's like,
it's all
shoot, it's the
hormones.
lack of estrogen. But it's not.
It's
Does
not.
stress bring I find that if I'm stressed or exhausted or
Yes,
sleep deprived, I
yes.
notice it more.
Anything that heats us up,
Heat.
exercise, stress makes us warmer,
Mhm.
adrenaline warms your body up, red wine, spicy foods, going in the sun, driving in a hot car.
Mm.
That's why rosacea is not just the direct sunlight, it's the heat also. When you get hot, what happens to our blood vessels? They dilate. When you have rosacea, your blood vessels genetic are already a little bigger.
Mm.
So you dilate those blood vessels, then the redness, and that redness, if you press on it, it goes away, comes back because it's blood inside the blood vessels. So that's why you feel like, oh, I'm angry, I get red.
Mm.
I go to the gym, I do a cardio, I do yoga. Oh my God, look
Yes,
at
the
that.
redness.
That's exactly right. It's all blood vessel related. So rosacea could be called the blood vessel acne, because in severe cases, you get bumps too.
Oh, hello.
So you're like, this is a weird acne. And so people are like, is this acne or rosacea? And the very easy way for you to tell is, do you have a bunch of blackheads or just bumps? Blackheads, acne, because that's being caused by oil. So more oil, blackheads, whiteheads, greasy skin, that's acne. Could be acne of the teenager, acne of the adult. Redness and bumps only with no black or white heads, that's rosacea.
And they're itchy too.
Itchy, very uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it picks up around the eyes and mouth.
And even here under the eye, I get mine up in here under my eyebrow and above the eye and like weird places.
That's why you need to wear sunglasses all the time when you go outside. So the number one rule that I tell all my patients is, please make sure your sons and daughters get protection on the face, because they are making rosacea now. I have a 16-year-old who's absolutely brainwashed about no sun on the face. And, you know, the way to brainwash was, once she had a sunburn on her face, I took her phone away for a week. And so now she's so good.
That's how a dermatologist punishes her child.
That poor
sunburn,
kid.
no phone.
My kids have any skin issues and they're punished. So no sun on your face, even when you're a teenager. If you don't have any bad moles, you got checked by a dermatologist, you can get a little bit of tan on your body. Face is always 2-3 layers of sunscreen, visor, hat, protection, reapplication. And okay, at night you want color, get a fake tanner. I mean, now the products are so good. My daughter uses a fake tanner pretty much every night on her face. Looks amazing, looks natural. The color is all the same. So absolutely no, because if you have it, you know genetically you pass those genes on, and you do not want your kids to go through what we went through because we didn't know.
Yeah.
So then you just start noticing that rosacea late 30s if you were a big sun person, 40s, 50s. And that's when you should, of course, seek treatment, because rosacea is progressive. So you don't treat it here, my friend, it will get worse. So we have to get you as soon as we can to stop the 3rd and 4th grade of rosacea. That is what we call rhinophyma. That is
the nose. So we see that in men. And it's interesting because my mother didn't have it, but my dad, and I didn't know what it was, but I thought, wow, you know, as he's getting older, the nose is getting bigger and the skin is getting thicker and it's a different color. What is that? Just age?
Exactly right. And people just in the past were so mean because they would say men with rhinophyma, big red nose, they're alcoholics. So a lot of my elderly patients, they come for treatment because you're like, everybody's asking if I'm drinking too much. So those poor guys, they have nothing to do with alcohol. But the nose keeps getting bigger and bigger because blood vessel feeds cell growth. So cells grow. Your cheeks start to get all spongy and red. The nose. Men get it more because testosterone makes it even worse. Testosterone is a hormone that promotes the skin growth and thickness. That's why male skin is much thicker than female skin. So you put that together with rosacea, then the noses, and you can see in the internet pictures of really awful cases that then you need plastic surgery and laser, things that we can't treat anymore. But if you catch it before it gets to that, we can definitely fix it. We can definitely shrink that nose with medication by like 30%, some patients 40% with only medication, no surgery, nothing. So I deal with a lot of those cases, and they're so thankful to you. They change, it changes the entire appearance from that rough face that is so thick to normal features again, and the cheeks go back down. So it's really fun to do.
That's amazing. And we're going to dive into what treatment looks like. I mean, clearly sun prevention obviously is the key to all of this, which makes me think too, the reason why we have all these women in midlife showing up, Honey, we're products of the 80s. We were out on the beach with no
No
sunscreen
protection.
on, cooking.
No
We were
protection.
doing the Hawaiian tropic. We were doing the
Yes.
visors
No,
with the
and Dominique,
reflection. And
we were not guilty. I
yeah,
keep going back and forth. Do I remember ever hearing about something?
no,
No.
no.
It was just like, go get a collar. You're so
You're so
pale.
pale.
Go
You don't look healthy. Go
outside.
get, I know.
That's it.
I know.
And we were tanning the face. I have a picture I keep in my closet of me in a beach in Rio, like this.
Yeah.
And just for me to remember when I complain I have rosacea, I'm
Exactly.
like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, I deserved it.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I did.
So now we know why we're
We
all
know.
showing up at Marjorie's office and
Yes.
dermatology offices across the country and
Oh,
across the world,
God,
because we did
yes.
this to ourselves and we didn't realize that, there was the genetic
Yes.
component. So now that there's this understanding of where it's coming from,
Mhm.
you've already talked a bit about prevention. We're going to dive more into that, dive into diagnosis, the
Uh-huh.
different types of treatments that are available, and
Yeah.
there are a lot. So
A
there's
lot.
hope, and we're going to tell you about hope on the backside of this break. How many times have you eyed a beautiful luxury designer handbag and thought, love to have that, but not paying that kind of price? Well, wouldn't it be neat if there were a members only club that actually provided access to such things and so much more, like jewelry, watches, and even diamonds? Vivrel is just the place. Vivrel is a wonderful spot. You need to check out their website. Oh my gosh, it's eye candy everywhere. You can swap items once per month, keep them for as long as you would like, and then you can even buy the item if you fall in love with it for far less than anywhere else. We're talking special occasions. Let's say you've got a wedding coming up and you need a certain type of a shoe, or you'd like to have a designer handbag or kind of that accent piece of jewelry, and you just don't want to invest the money that it takes. I get you. I love options like this, these members only clubs that provide access. They have different tiers. Their most popular one is called the Classique, which is $139 a month. And there's no better time to sign up. They are adding millions of dollars worth of inventory to their closet weekly, and there are new pieces to borrow and love. And I mean, Hermes, Fendi, Saint Laurent, Dior, Louis Vuitton, so much more. Just go to www.vivrel.com and apply for a membership today using code Flourishing for 50% off 1 month of membership. The code will also allow you to skip the Vivrel waitlist. That's VIVRELLE.com. Use code Flourishing for 50% off 1 month of membership. Are you struggling with a good night's sleep? Boy, I feel you. Sometimes the events of the day can play over and over in your head as you lay it down on the pillow, or maybe you just get a little overstimulated from watching your favorite TV series. Well, can I point you in the direction of the Calm app? Yes, Calm is the #1 app for sleep and meditation, giving you the power to calm your mind and literally change your life. Vic and I love listening to the sleep stories, the sleep meditations, even calming music. We did last night. Boy, it helped us drift off to sleep so quickly and naturally. They also have guided meditations. Those help you work through all that anxiety and stress that we carry, help you boost your focus, build healthier habits, and just take better care of your overall physical well-being. There are even grounding exercises and expert-led talks. Let's say you're going through a season where you're handling some grief, or you just want to improve your self-esteem or your relationships. The Calm app puts all those tools right there in your pocket. So stress and anxiety relief, always within reach. And did you know there are more than 2 million 5-star reviews? What does that tell you? Calm has an exclusive offer just for listeners of our show. Get 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/over50. This is an amazing value. Go to calm.com/over50 for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. calm.com/over50 and tell Calm you heard about them from me. Oh my goodness, ladies, it is almost cozy season. You know what that means? Sweaters, soft layered looks, comfy on every level. And if your bra isn't playing along, it is time to get rid of it. I'm talking about Honey Love here because I want your bra to feel as comfy as your loungewear does. And Honey Love makes the best wireless bras that actually feel like second skin. They're lightweight, they're breathable, they work with your body, they don't fight it, they don't dig, they don't pinch, they don't bind. They give you just the right amount of lift without the squeeze. And hey, that took some research and development and testing to make that happen. No bulky padding either. So I don't want you coming home from a long day of doing whatever and feeling like the first thing you have to do is throw that bra across the room. Why don't you try mine? I've got Honey Love's bestseller, the crossover bra. So super comfortable. It will definitely be your go-to. It gives you all that support that traditional bras gave without any underwire. And it's the one bra you will actually enjoy wearing. And trust me, you won't want to take it off. And Honey Love isn't just about bras. They've got shapewear, tanks, leggings, all just equally as comfortable and supportive. Treat yourself to the most comfortable and innovative bras on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/over50. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/over50. After your purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in bras with Honey Love. Welcome back. We are talking all things rosacea with Dr. Marjorie Nigro, and we've learned that we did it to ourselves. We are fully to blame for too much sun and not knowing our family tree. Okay, now that we have swallowed that really tough pill, and we were talking during the commercial break, you, me, and Courtney, just about how the younger generation is so dialed into skincare right now and prevention, which I think is great. The pendulum has swung. We don't want extreme in any way is never good, but at least there is such an awareness now about skincare and prevention, which I think is amazing.
It is.
So hopefully we'll see down the line fewer and fewer people with these problems. But in the meantime, what you're saying to me is that the pharmaceutical industry, the skincare industry, they are finding things and finding ways to help remedy the problem. So at least knowing that there's treatment. And it's like what you said about, the poor guys with the big noses who present, you can get that down. Let's kind of now walk us through diagnosis. First step. What does that look like?
First step is come to us, right? So a dermatologist is going to check your skin, your complaints. Make sure you look at pictures of yourself, whatever, 10, 15 years ago, so you can compare and see how much redder you are, how much more makeup you need to kind of hide the redness. And then we are going to look at your skin and pretty much give you the grade of rosacea. So people have to understand, we always think of rosacea as the huge nose, the blood vessels all over, bumps everywhere. That is the highest level of rosacea. So someone that once in a while gets these red cheeks that they can't shake off and they start to see some blood vessels, that is rosacea too. It's just the very, very beginning. So we grade that rosacea in grades 1 through 4, and there's different categories to grade that, but that's how I do it in my practice. 4 is the severe, worst, extreme. 1 is the just a little bit of redness that doesn't go away. And in between, you have the rosacea that already has the bumps. That is the inflammatory rosacea. That's level 3. And the level 2 is more than just a little patch of redness. It's kind of like what we call the butterfly. So your butterfly area is always red, even if you're not super hot in the sun. And that just goes from this basic red to redder when you expose or you drink alcohol or red wine. Grade 4 generally has eye commitment too. So rosacea can go to your eyes, and then you start to have those eyes that are always a little red. And people give lots of excuses. I'm allergic. I have dry eyes. You might have rosacea. So you should see an ophthalmologist once a year to get a checkup on that, because there are eye drops for rosacea to keep those blood vessels tight so you don't get to a point that your eyes are always red, bloodshot. So very important. Everybody gets sunscreen, and the day you decide I am going to treat this is the day you make a commitment to never again laying in the sun without protection.
Right.
And I mean, protection is sunscreen, protection is hat, visors, big sunglasses. So this has to become routine. Even if you say, I'm just going to go to the supermarket. Yes, it's a hot car. It is sun exposure. It is walking in a parking lot. Yes, that is considered sun exposure. So unless you are in a room with no windows, good for you, no sunscreen. Other than that, sunscreen. Recent research that just came up last week at the American Academy of Dermatology shows that for rosacea patients, even indoor lights, cell phone lights, and computer lights.
Seriously?
That's why sunscreen is, you brush your teeth in the morning, you put that sunscreen on. This is it.
Yeah.
We are going to be exposed. So, and the best types of sunscreen for rosacea are tinted sunscreen. So
Thank goodness. You get a little color too.
See, you get a little color. Get one with some pigment, so it's a bronzer. I mean, in my office, we have two types. We have the one that melts into your regular skin, and we have one with a bronzer. So you want to be bronzed? Okay. Giving you sunscreen, mineral with a bronzer in it, so no one can complain.
What is it about the tinted sunscreen that works so well with
for
rosacea?
you the tint is made of iron salts. Iron is a metal. So it's kind of putting on your face a metal shield.
Interesting.
So you end up having two sunscreens in one, because they have the regular sunscreen that you can get just with a moisturizer with sunscreen, and then iron on the pigment. So this is how you're so protected. Minerals better than anything else.
Hands down.
Mineral doesn't irritate, because rosacea, we're very picky too. You start to use regular sunscreen, you're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Because chemicals irritate us. We should avoid aggressive things on the face, like scrubbing, all these grains that you want to massage on your face, facials that rub you, they're just going to make it worse. Anything that makes those blood vessels flare up, they get huge, you see them.
So no, and the tendency is sometimes you see these little bumps and you're like, I'm going to scrub them off. You're just aggravating the situation.
And you're just making it worse. So everything for us should be mild. Washes should be mild, foaming washes. If you like to use any type of rubbing, I always recommend a washcloth for newborn babies. You can find it in any store, and Target has in the newborn section. They're so soft and so delicate. You can put your soap or your foaming wash and massage your face, because you like that feeling of cleaning. And that is not going to make your rosacea worse. Medications, of course, cream. So the number one, again, sunscreen. 2 layers of sunscreen for everybody. One is a moisturizing regular sunscreen that you can get anywhere you like. And the last layer is, if you're doing makeup, it's your tinted sunscreen, mineral, with or without pigmentation, bronzer or not, whatever it is. But it has to have color, to the point that when you finish that sunscreen, you don't see the redness. That means you're covered enough. If you put one layer and it's not covering, another. Until, and I tell my patients, my treatment is going to allow you to use less and less layers. When I started treating, I needed 3 layers to get rid of the main redness on the cheeks and nose, right? Now with 1 layer, I'm good. Then I put my little powder and I'm done for the day. Mineral sunscreens are much more resistant to water. I'm from Brazil, so I go to Brazil quite often. So I go to Rio, I go to the beach, and I put the sunscreen on. Girl, at night, you're in your bathroom with that baby washcloth, and there's a steel sunscreen on you. It resisted everything.
Amazing.
So make sure you have something like that so you can be really protected. So that's the part that everybody gets. There's
Getting
no
covered with sunscreen, and just covered, period.
You're going to play tennis, you put it on. You're going to walk your dog. You're going to, all the time. Then, depending on the level of your rosacea,
now comes treatment.
The treatment is going to come, right? So we go to the milder rosacea. I just put you on a little touch of glycolic acid in the morning. Why glycolic acid? Glycolic acid is from just, let's say, strong orange juice, okay? And the acid of orange juice is alpha hydroxy kills bacteria. Why bacteria? Because unfortunately, you have more bacteria than people without rosacea.
Ah,
It's very sad, but it's very true. So lots of research do like scrubs and send it for bacterial culture. And our level, same bacteria
hmm.
as a non-rosacea patient, but in a higher level. And why is that? Because we have more blood in the skin. More blood, our skin is warmer than people without rosacea. You can test that at home. And more warmth, more bacteria.
Mm.
So we need to use something on a regular basis that kind of kills that surface excessive bacteria. Glycolic acid is mild enough. It can be used during the day, not greasy. So the way to do it is on the first, you wash your face, on your first layer of sunscreen creamy of your choice, you put a
Like a
smidge.
pea size. It's tiny.
Tiny, because it's an acid. So patients are like, oh, it's going to burn my rosacea. It's not, because you're going to do such a little amount, only to kill the bacteria. Make a paste with that with your sunscreen moisturizer, apply all over, sunscreen on top, you're done. At night, some product with retin-A, very low intensity. I generally tell rosacea patients you can start to buy a retinol over the counter that you like, because retinol is retin-A, but it's watered down.
Right.
So you start with that a couple times a week with a moisturizer. Always moisturize. You dry someone with rosacea, it gets red again. So always moisturize. Do the retinol. By the time you're doing a retinol over the counter, 2-3 times a week, no problem, no burn, you're ready for a prescription form of retin-A.
I know the first thing people are going to ask, because glycolic acid you can also get
Yes.
over the counter and in different types of products. So
Yeah.
do you recommend starting that way, or should they get dermatologist prescribed glycolic acid?
You can start in either track,
Okay.
right? I always recommend prescription for many reasons. Prescription strength, because I can control what you're using.
Yeah.
And many times with the cosmetic area, you
You
don't know.
they say a percentage, you're not sure.
And
Yeah.
it could be that that acid is completely buffered, so it doesn't tangle you. And so you're basically getting nothing. I don't know. Glycolic acid is a very finicky product that expires if it's not kept in the same air conditioning situations, not in the sun. So I feel very nervous when patients say, oh, I'm getting it from my facialist or this and that. Where is it coming from? What kind of acid is that? Is it too strong for you? Is it going to burn you? Because I know if I give you something and you tell me, oh, it tingles a lot. Oh, so you're sensitive to 10% because I know exactly what I gave you.
Mhm.
So let me put you down to 8. And I know my 8 is 8. My 10 is 10 because it's made by a pharmacist from Yale. So I know exactly what I'm getting here. And it's made all the time. So the glycolic acid that I bring, we order it every 2 weeks and it sells every 2 weeks. So I can tell you this product is fresh. It's delivered in styrofoam containers away from the heat. So then I can trust. But I understand if you want to try something over the counter, go ahead. But if that irritated you, don't blame glycolic acid. It's just because the formulation is not good for you. Go to a dermatologist and get the one that they give to you or they prescribe to you. A lot of times people use pads, glycolic acid pads.
Mhm.
They're very aggressive. There's always a little bit of alcohol in them.
Which dries, and then you don't want that.
So then I hate when patients come to me, oh, I use glycolic, it burned me terrible. Because then it gives glycolic such a bad name. And I always say, let's do this. I'll give you a little sample of glycolic. You tell me in a couple weeks if this one you can tolerate. And I can tell you 99.9%. Oh, wow, yours is stronger and I could tolerate it. Yes, because the formulation doesn't have more acids. They don't have as many chemicals to preserve it.
I was going to
to
say, it's
stay
the
on
other
a
list of
shelf.
ingredients.
Yeah, I mean, these things stay on shelves in pharmacies or estheticians or for Amazon for months until they get to you. So they have to put all these preservatives and all of that. And ours is like fresh.
Right.
So the only problem is sometimes it runs out, right? Because we get it every 2 weeks. And if we have a week where patient bought it for their whole family, then I go out of it and I have to be calling the farm, send more. But I can guarantee you that that type of glycolic acid is going to be, you get what you're getting there and it's fresh and it's going to work.
Okay. So we've got glycolic acid in the morning, retinol or retin-A,
At night.
preferably retin-A, which is tretinoin. That's
Yeah.
the prescription at night. Is there anything else?
For a level 1 rosacea, so
That's
for
it.
the just redness a little bit to prevent the further, this is it. And the moisturizers, of course. Get a good moisturizer at night. If you like greasy, go for it. Face oil, thick night cream, over the whatever you like. So rosacea at night likes to be a little greasy, not during the day. But if you don't have a problem with being a little heavy at night, you can do it. So with the retin-A, with the retinol, or just the oil to go to bed and calm down your skin. So that will be the level 1. Level 2, when you start to have a little 2 and 3, you have bumps and you start to have more about the itching and all of that. Rule number 1, never put cortisone on because it's the first thing you want to reach for, right? I'm itchy,
I'm bumpy,
I'm irritated, cortisone on it. And the problem with even the over-the-counter cortisone is that it really calms it down. But as you know, cortisone decreases your immune system reaction to anything. That's why it stops itching, from a bug bite to an irritation to eczema.
Right.
You don't itch because your immune system is kind of paralyzed in that area of your skin. So if you think rosacea has a lot of bacteria and you're stopping your immune system, you're kind of shooting yourself on the foot. So I have patients that I started a very weak hydrocortisone over the counter. It was great.
Yeah. And you're like, how long is that going to last?
Yes. Then it stopped working. So I asked a friend of mine. She had a prescription cortisone.
So now bump that up.
So I did that. And then it was good for another whatever month. Then, so because your skin gets addicted to cortisone, right? So it needs more and more and more. So at the point you come to me, you're using the strongest type of cortisone to try to keep it at bay. And I have to take that out. And you're not going to like me because you blow up bad.
Yeah, because you've killed your body's own immune defenses.
And so you're going to get like cystic acne for at least a couple weeks. And so I have to give you strong antibiotics. We have some patients who have to put on Accutane right away because I'm not going to be able to take away the cortisone unless I put them in something really, really high. So do not use any form of cortisone. That itching and irritation is bacteria, has to be treated with acids and antibiotics. And so we do the glycolic there. If you're getting the bumps, I put a liquid antibiotic in your glycolic acid. So that kills the bacteria, prevents it from coming back. In level 2 to 3, I have to give you antibiotics by mouth. We use the antibiotics that are, of course, approved for acne and rosacea. We don't use the strong antibiotics because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I took this strong antibiotics for a sinus infection. My rosacea was gone. Yes, it was. But all your flora inside of your body was gone too.
Exactly.
And we can't do that. So we do antibiotics that are approved, that don't have a huge problem with your flora. And you can take it for a longer period of time, FDA approved for that, and doesn't harm. And always probiotics.
Always, no matter what. Gut health is priority 1.
Everybody should, kids, adults, probiotics are so good for you for everything. Every month I'm seeing new research. Eczema probiotics, allergies probiotics, rosacea probiotics, acne probiotics. Just take it. It's so good. And you can choose the one you like. Fresh ones are better because the kind that it's like the gummies. The active ones are better. The ones that you're in a form that you just open a jar and they're all gummies there, as soon as oxygen hits them, they start dying. So if you have the ones that are closed in a capsule, or the ones you keep in the fridge, or the ones, those are active all the way to the end, and they will help you getting good, healthy bacteria in your gut that is going to help with controlling bad bacteria on the
Again,
skin.
because the story is bacteria. So we're going to take a break, thank our sponsors, talk more about that. We've kind of touched on level 1, level 2. There are other levels that are more severe where I'm assuming the approaches are a little bit more intense.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. But thankfully, there are things that people can do. So there's hope for you. Stay with us. We're going to finish up this chat on rosacea after this.
Thank you.
Does talking about finances stress you out just a little bit? You know, I think it's more about the lack of organization that we have with our money. Think about it. If you've had multiple jobs, chances are you might have multiple 401ks. Then there's the checking account, the spending account, maybe a joint account, all the different credit cards. And where's all that money going? Is it DoorDash, Instacart, or retail? Wouldn't it be nice to feel organized and confident in your finances? Let me help you. Monarch Money wants to do just that. It is an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or your phone. I was surprised. Yes, I know I tend to eat out a lot or DoorDash at home, and we could clearly see where the money was going, and it helped us to make tweaks and adjustments there. So I really appreciate that. I love having everything all in one place. And if you do too, Monarch is for you. It does all the heavy lifting. It links all your accounts in just minutes. You will get clear data visuals, smart categorization of your spending, and real control over your money. You will never need to touch a spreadsheet again, I promise. Again, Monarch can help bring couples together, husband and wife. You can share a dashboard, you can link all your accounts, and you can plan together. Do not let a financial opportunity like this slip through the cracks. Use code Dominique at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That is 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code Dominique. There's nothing worse than trying to do your work or be in the game maybe as a grandparent and you're just frustrated with brain fog, struggling to stay focused, or you feel a little distracted. Maybe there's fatigue that's slowing you down at the end of the day. I know it's happened to me for sure. And we don't want to rely on caffeine to keep getting us through because then we get jitters. Well, Nature's Sunshine Brain Edge combines hand-harvested yerba mate with powerful nootropics to support focus, memory, and cognitive performance without that crash. It is a clean, plant-powered drink mix that you can have either hot or cold. I can mix it into my coffee or even my smoothie at times. And this way, you've got a shortcut that's going to help you get that focus, alertness, and memory anytime you need it. The nootropic botanicals help you concentrate and stay sharp. It also promotes recall and mental stamina with ingredients like bacopa and ginkgo, and that smooth, sustained energy. We can thank that wild harvested yerba mate for that. Sourced with a purpose, that yerba mate is wild harvested by indigenous communities in South American rainforest, a wonderful origin. Look, don't fight through feeling foggy and lethargic. Ignite your mental performance with Brain Edge. Nature's Sunshine is offering 20% off your first order plus free shipping. Go to naturesunshine.com and use code Flourishing at checkout. That's code Flourishing at naturesunshine.com. Do you sometimes open your pantry and think, how am I going to consume all of those vitamins and minerals that I take every day? Getting maybe, 10, 15, even 20 pills down. That's a tough task, but what's even harder? Consuming through food the actual vitamins and minerals that you need. Well, let me talk to you about Grunes. Grunes are a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into a single snack pack a day. Now, this isn't a multivitamin, a greens gummy, or a prebiotic. It's actually all of those things and then some at a fraction of the price. And bonus, it tastes great. Generic multivitamins, they only contain about 7 to 9 vitamins. Grunes, they've got 20 plus vitamins and minerals and 60 ingredients, which include nutrient-dense and whole foods. They've got 6 grams of prebiotic fiber. That is 3 times the amount of dietary fiber compared to the leading greens powders. And this is going to blow your mind, more than 2 cups of broccoli. Who can consume that? Who can digest that? I personally can't. That's why I struggle and take Grunes. It's impossible to be able to get in all the foods that you need, let alone can your stomach handle it. Grunes ingredients are backed by more than 35,000 research publications. I love it because I know I'm checking all my boxes and it's so easy and delicious to get a pack of Grunes in a day. Please visit grunes.co, use code Flourishing at checkout for up to 52% off your first order. That's gruns.co and use code Flourishing for up to 52% off your first order. Welcome back to Over 50 and Flourishing. Yes, if we have rosacea, we are still going to flourish and we're going to conquer it and we're going to fight it tooth and nail. We are not going to scrub it off because we've learned that is not the way to get rid of it.
No.
So we're going to do the right kind of acids between glycolic and retin A, and we're going to, if needed, there are oral antibiotics that can help. That takes care of level 1 and level 2 of rosacea.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the more severe ones, and we have to do a deeper dive into those types of treatments. And thankfully, there are things for people to help.
There are. And we can really get those very high, intense levels of rosacea under control. So whenever we do the 1 and 2 that we talked about, then level 3 is lots and lots of bumps, and the nose and cheeks is starting to puff. And level 4 is the full-fledged big nose, big cheeks, red eyes, and the whole thing. So for those levels, there's always Accutane. Accutane is a medicine we use for acne in teenagers.
Well, yeah, you think that teenagers, have to take it with the cystic acne.
That's exactly right. And it works wonders for adults with rosacea. A lot of people are afraid of it, right? Because many years ago, there was so much bad talks about Accutane and, it can do so many bad things on your body and side effects. And research was done over the years. And really, 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 the one side effect we have to know that is really serious and true is you cannot get pregnant while you're on Accutane. No problem after Accutane, but while you're in Accutane. Because what is Accutane? Accutane is vitamin A, okay? Pure, simple vitamin A. It is not an antibiotics. It is nothing else. It's basically the vitamin itself, but in a very concentrated form.
It's like on steroids.
On steroids.
Yeah.
So when patients say, what about if I take vitamin A? It's like this. It comes from carrots, right? Vitamin A is from carotenoid acids. So if you want that amount, you would have to basically buy a truck of carrots twice a day, sit there and eat the whole day. So
and then you turn orange.
You'll be super fun. You will be super orange. So Accutane is that. Accutane is a very concentrated form of vitamin A called isotretinoin. And what it does is vitamin A has a whole we call tropism or affinity for fat, oil. So whenever you take that, it's going to try to find oil in your system and attach to it. So, of course, in rosacea, acne, the glands are big, the oil glands are big, and the vitamin's going to go and stick it into that gland. What happens when that happens? It basically atrophies the gland or shrinks the size of the gland down, decreases the production of that oil. And makes the oil much more liquidy. Because in rosacea and in acne of the teenager, the oil is so thick that it gets stuck.
That's why you get the big cyst.
That's it. You get the bumps and the cysts.
Right.
They are really pots of oil sitting on your skin, feeding bacteria. So when you decrease that and you make the oil more liquid, you can clean that oil. It's not stuck inside of your skin. Bacteria has nothing to eat. That's why when you do Accutane, you don't need an antibiotics because you're really treating the root of the problem. When you take an antibiotics, you're just killing the bacteria here. The food is still there. Eventually, bacteria comes back, right? When you are doing the Accutane, you get rid of that, and it is a permanent treatment.
Wow. So it will reduce rosacea by how much?
Each treatment, I would say 60% of patients will be cured for life.
What?
Life. It's unbelievable, right? It is like, and no one believes it unless they do it. So you take for 5 months, the treatment is, there's a time frame for that. The dose depends on the size of the person and the severity of the case. So you start with 1 pill a day. Pills go from 20 to 40 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do anywhere from 20 milligrams a day to someone big, muscle, guy, and all that. You can go to 80, 100 milligrams a day. A small woman, thin, you stay in 30, maybe 40. So it all depends on your size and how bad the rosacea is. We start with 1 pill a day. And then on the second month, we double that dose. That was your original dose. And that's the treatment for the rest of the 4 months. So it's a total of 5. And you start getting better really 3 days into it. It's insane how your pores start tightening. And why is your nose so big when you have rhinophyma, the most severe grade of rosacea? Because the glands are enormous.
They're swollen.
So you're swollen. So those glands are making your nose come up to here, your cheeks come up to here.
So the Accutane brings that down? Wow.
You can reduce the size of the nose of a patient by 30%.
On Accutane.
Almost surgical, and it doesn't grow back up.
Wow.
I am not going to lie. Some patients after the first say, oh, I want a little more on the nose. Okay, let's give your body 6 months to a year break. We can do it again. There's no problem. Accutane can be done once you rest from the Accutane. Really, research says rest for 3 to 6 months, but I generally wait for a year or minimum 6 months. You can do it again. Yeah. There's no problem. What about the risks of Accutane, right? We check your liver.
I was going to say your liver enzymes. You have to have blood work religiously, and you can't have wine and enjoy all the alcohol, right, while you're doing Accutane.
You can have a little bit.
Yeah.
So because vitamin A, like the majority of vitamins of that class, they clear through the liver. It's not that Accutane hurts your liver. It passes through your liver to be inactivated and thrown in the urine. So it passes through the liver and you pee it out, right? So reason number 1, while you're on Accutane, you're going to drink water, immense amounts. The more, the better. So I tell patients minimum of 6 little bottles of water a day. If more, better. How do you know you're hydrated? When you go to the bathroom, your urine should be water. If you have color in the urine, drink more water. It's not enough. That's how I'm going to keep those kidneys flushing that Accutane. Alcohol goes to the same place in the liver where vitamins go to. So that's the problem. And so people are like, oh, so I won't be able to drink. Well, if you're smart, you will.
I was going to say that's not the worst thing that could happen here. It's better for you.
Yeah, and it's 5 months, okay? But okay, I get it. So what do we do for that? We always check your liver enzymes ahead of time and during the Accutane, right? And I tell you, okay, you are for the first month going to drink half of what you're used to drink. So if you're used to drink 2 glasses of wine, you are going to drink 1 and drink a lot of water. After the first month, I'm going to test you. Your liver's enzymes are good? Okay, you're doing well. Let's stay on this. Your liver enzymes went up a little bit. It's like, oh, friend, you're going to have to stop. Because the liver doesn't want to metabolize 2 things at a time.
Right.
Tips for that are take your Accutane more in the morning because we tend to have some alcohol at night. So the Accutane already passed through your liver, so you can drink a little bit. We do lots of little tricks like that. Accutane always with food. Never take Accutane on an empty stomach. It doesn't absorb. If there's no fat in your stomach at the same time as the Accutane, it goes out in the urine. So you have to eat a meal that has some fat or take a tablespoon of peanut butter. That absorbs your Accutane right away. And now we'll check you, right? And the results are amazing. I mean, really, it fixes forever. You stop with that cycle of red, oil, nose, eyes, back. It fixes them. Eye rosacea too. So we monitor you during the whole treatment. I always see my Accutane patients every month. We discuss everything.
Yeah, not only is Accutane amazing for a lot of people, but Oscar's amazing when he decides to show up and
Yes.
join the
And Oscar
podcast.
doesn't have rosacea
No,
because he
lucky
never
dog.
had sun exposure because he has hair. So
Exactly.
they're so lucky. No wrinkles
No,
and no
nothing.
rosacea.
You said a couple of things that might blow people's mind. First of all, so as we talk about Accutane, you said it's basically vitamin A and a
Mhm.
lot of it. Well, and people are scared of it.
Yes.
Um, Retin A is vitamin A,
Perfectly
but a
right.
lot of it.
Yes.
And then you also mentioned, and this is a phenomenal statistic. So look at yourself in the mirror and look at, what did you say? Your wrinkles, your rosacea, and your
Brown
sunspots,
spots.
right?
Yeah.
Where are they most prevalent?
Always on your left side. Everyone has more damage on the left side due to the sun when you drive.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting that sun. And that's one reason why I tell people see why you need sunscreen, even on the days you're not going to the beach, right?
Right.
Because the daily exposure through the window by driving makes us, there were researchers in the past doing biopsies on both sides of our skin, showing that we are 5 years minimum aging more on the, if you compare left and right. And the interesting part of that is the same research when it's done in England and Australia and Japan show the opposite because they drive
on the right side or the wrong side of the street.
So that's,
Just
yes,
kidding.
that,
Just kidding.
yes, it's so hard.
Yes.
So then what you have to do is to just really put sunscreen, even if you're just going to go for a ride to the supermarket. Okay, don't stop it because you will be exposed just by driving.
Right. The other interesting stat that you told me, and this was, you and I were having a conversation a while back. You said that more people in your office are on Accutane, adults for rosacea, than teenagers for acne.
Definitely.
That blew my mind.
I see adults primarily. I see some teenagers too, but I have many more adults who need it and have no idea they need it.
Yeah.
Kids know they need it because they have the acne. Everybody knows what it is. Their friends at school are on Accutane. They see the improvement. They come to me already asking for that. Adults come to me for those complaints. My nose is big. My skin is oily. My pores are so big. My cheeks are swollen. I'm red. And when we say Accutane, they're what? And then you explain and you show befores and afters, and they are the most thankful people. It's pretty amazing when they come in and they're like, I had no idea my skin could look like this. And then generally, and I'm going to warn you, they bring the husband because the husband has big time rosacea. They're all tennis players or golfers, or they are in the sun fishing and everything. So then after the wife had the skin all tight and the nose looks really good, then she comes back with the husband and it's like, are you sure it's going to help my nose? And it always does. It's pretty amazing how it works really well for men, women, and it's a short course treatment. I mean, 5, sometimes I have to do 6 months on the cases that are harder to treat. But the improvement, there is no case of no improvement. Okay, I can tell you, research shows 60% of cure, but 100% of improvement. There's not one person that doesn't look better than they did before the beginning of Accutane.
Well, I think that was the bomb that just got dropped in this podcast, is that most people had no idea that was an option for them.
Oh, and guess what? Covered by insurance. Wow.
Bomb number 2.
Because it is a disease. It's not a cosmetic issue. It is a disease, and it affects your eyes also, and it changes your face. It's increasing bacteria. So insurance it does authorize Accutane. So
amazing.
Insurance covers your blood work, and it covers, because for the insurance companies, it's much cheaper to cure you than to have you using a million creams for the rest of your life and not be happy. So it is financially very favorable for insurance plans to cure you. So it is a very nice plus.
Yeah.
of Accutane.
That's a big surprise, I think, for a lot of people. And then
Amazing.
there's one more layer for those who maybe aren't sure, aren't ready. They want to try maybe something else.
Sure.
There is something else.
Definitely.
And it's something that I'm going to try with
Yes.
you. And I'm
Very
excited about it,
fun.
only because I've done it before, except I did it on my chest and arms for
Yeah.
different reasons. But
Uh-huh.
that is IPL.
IPL. IPL helps rosacea a lot.
Mm.
What I have to say, and I'll say it to anyone who comes to the office, without the skincare and without the sun protection, I
Mhm.
do not do IPL
Right.
because you're throwing your money away. You're getting an improvement for maybe a couple months
Mm.
and then it goes back down. Because as you can imagine, we need to have that skin treated. We need to have the level of bacteria reduced. We need to
Right.
have a less sun exposure. Then you're a candidate for the IPL. IPL is a laser that the reality is not a real laser. It's intense pulse
Pulse light.
light. So it is a very bright light that is in the wavelength of hemoglobin inside of your blood vessels. So when it hits the blood vessel, it shuts them down.
Mm.
So you have a huge improvement in that redness, in the blood vessel numbers on your skin. And that kind of diffuse redness that keeps coming back. Because if I shut down your superficial blood vessels on the skin, you're not going to get as red when you get hot or stressed or drink your wine. So with less of that, you have less redness. And then people say, but don't I need those blood vessels? Normal people don't have them and they live very well, thank you. So the redness on the blood vessel is there just because you are with rosacea.
Right. So IPL works, but not as well as Accutane, not
No.
for everybody.
And it is not for the high levels, Dominique.
Oh,
You
it's not.
can't come in with a lot of bumps and a big nose and think the IPL is going to help you.
Mm.
Sure, you're going to get a 30% improvement on the redness, but really, is that enough?
Yeah.
You really need to address the glands. You really, the thing in my office is I hate to waste people's money, right? To recommend something that I wouldn't be happy with the results myself. So every time I tell you do this or do that, it's something that I think it's worth the money you're going to spend
Yes.
because I would do it and spend the money with the results you can get. So the rosacea levels 1 and 2,
Mhm.
go for it. You're going to get better right away. I put you on a regimen. 2 weeks later, I'm like, go for the IPL. Every session will get you 30%. And I'll say, in my case, in my first year, I had 3 treatments to get rid of that intense redness. I am on a constant regimen, like I told you guys about, sunscreen and all the protection. And now, once every year, year and a half, I get one just to get the new blood vessels that develop. So I will not recommend a level 3 or 4 rosacea to do that. So let's do some antibiotics. Let's eventually do an Accutane. Then once you got those glands under control, bacteria down, then I can give you an amazing result with the IPL.
Interesting.
IPL should be done in a medical practice, guys. I know that everybody now
These days offers lasers and
yes, lasers and IPL and a manicure setting and all of that. And sure, it's most likely not going to hurt you. Sometimes I've seen that, but not really. But the results are not the same. I mean, you have to go to a place where there's a physician supervising, where there are nurses or estheticians who are certified for IPL. Always ask for the certification. They take a long course to know every skin, every setting, how the machine has to be done, how it has to be operated. There's so many nuances to that treatment that to have results, of course, that I've had so many patients. I've had 5 IPLs, they don't work. And I always say, here's the deal. We do 1 IPL. If it doesn't work for you, you get your money back. What about that? And of course, it always works, right? So just do it in a place that has a physician in charge supervising this and people who are certified to operate that machine.
Is everybody a candidate for IPL? How many sessions and how much on average does it cost?
In fact, compared to other lasers, it's very affordable. So IPL goes around $400 to $500 per treatment. Downtown is minimal. I would say 1, maximum 2 days. What do you say on your downtime? Brown spots get darker.
Mhm.
Red areas look like what we call coffee grinds because the blood vessels shut down. And every time a blood vessel shut down, it leaves a teeny microscopic bruising under the skin that looks the next day as if someone got coffee grinds and splashed into your skin, right? Makeup covers it. So I always tell patients 1 to 2 days of heavier makeup, but I go back to work the next day with absolutely no problem. Every treatment improves you by 30%. We generally say you will need around 3 treatments because that's generally what happens. And then maintenance is one every year and a half, depending on how much sun exposure you have.
Right.
People that continue to sun expose a lot, my tennis players, like I said, my golfers, they need a 2 a year because they will have more spots. People who protect more are going to need less. Duration of the treatment is from you arrive, we put like a numbing cream, not because it's super painful, but it's annoying and I hate pain. So we numb you. Dominique will be numbed because she's my friend.
Thank you.
So you get the numbing and you sit with that numbing 20, 30 minutes. And then we do the treatment on your whole face. When you finish, you're going to be kind of red as if you had sat in the sun a little bit more. And the next day you can put your makeup and your sunscreen and all of that. And you will get better and better. And we see the results of an IPL generally 6 to 8 weeks after. So I always have patients come in for us to take a picture, show them that they improve, make a plan, how many more treatments. We don't have to do it only winter or summer or anything. I just don't want you to have a major sun exposure
Event
for a
near
month.
it. Yeah.
I mean, just if you have a plan to go to the beach, just have it after. And I don't want you with a tan either. So go to the beach, cover up. If you come back and you're not tanned, we can do it right away. If you're tanned, we have to wait until the tan goes because the tan creates a layer that the IPL can go through. So you end up not having the same results.
Got it. Well, I'm excited to try it. Like
it'll
I
be
said,
so
I've
fun.
done IPL for all of my sunspots,
Yes.
and I experienced that whole coffee grind flaking thing. I don't have as many sunspots. My rosacea is like
'Cause you're good
moderate, so
and you
I've been very
protect.
good. I've listened to you. So I'm excited to try it. We will shoot it on video. We'll post that as Thursday's
Perfect.
YouTube video to follow this podcast on Monday.
Yes.
So it's kind of the full accoutrement of all things rosacea.
Yeah.
Normally, and thank you, by the way, because I feel like we have just covered everything. I hope we've
Yes.
answered
I'm so
everybody's
glad we
question
talked
about
about
this. Me
this.
too. What an
Yes.
important subject. And we normally do a Dear Dominique at the end of every podcast. But what we did on social is we solicited people's questions and we're doing
cool.
Ask
Okay.
the Derm.
Okay.
So we're going to have another podcast with you coming up in a couple of months where everybody's questions will show up on that particular podcast.
Perfect.
So we can answer as many as possible. But I
Great.
love giving, and I thank you for that because I love giving this audience access to you. They may have something specific that
and
maybe
I love seeing them.
right
It's
that
so
I
fun.
haven't thought about or we haven't talked about yet. So that opportunity is coming up. But in the meantime, thank you. Thank you for flying in from Houston
Thank you.
and being
it's
here.
like vacation day. I love that.
I love having you. We're gonna go have a lunch break
Yes.
before we shoot our next podcast together. But
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Great.
I always encourage people, if they watch on YouTube, please feel free to put a comment, or if you have a question for Marjorie, we'll try to flag her so she can see it and respond to that as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way you're notified every time a video comes out, whether it's Monday for a podcast, Thursday for a YouTube video. And if you listen on audio, wherever you listen to your podcast, I just ask that you rate, review, subscribe, and share Over 50 and Flourishing. Maybe rosacea isn't your thing, but it could be your sister's thing or your best friend's thing. Or maybe now you've realized, oh my gosh, my mother has it and doesn't even know, or whatever. Please share this so that we can spread the information and spread options in treatment, because midlife really is about the best of life. I feel like we're in such a sweet spot.
Both of us are
talk about it
loving
all
that.
the time. We love where we are. We wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yes.
So anyway, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next week.